We are Monsoon Collective. This is our complete team. We are all young. And starting with our studio practice, I will then connect it with our picked up projects. Then, while we go through our studio practice, we are the people for first practice, client, designers, craftsmen, and labor. Our penchant is people, frugality, and story. Then each project start as a program, and we work to provide a solution to achieve the program. And we have an iterative solution process through the collaboration of the people. That is our team members also, which is involved. Hence, it is a collective program which we are doing inside the studio itself, which hence we are Monsoon Collective, a collective thought. So, running to the first project, this it's on the brooks. The name itself mentioned that it's on the brooks. So the concept of the concept and design philosophy is the reinterpretation of the Kerala traditional architecture. This is a glimpse of that front view. And while we go to this layout, you can see that the plan is divided into three segments, where you can see the entrance area and the carport and the curved wall, which is directly opening to a bigger foyer area, that opening to a living space, which then opens to a courtyard space, this courtyard space is capturing the image which is beneath this designed courtyard wall, which will give a glimpse of a complete plantation in the backside of this plot. So this is the segregation of the spaces, where you can see the public green space and semi-public and private spaces. This is the front elevations. In the elevation itself, you can see that the separations of the each categories. And first, the focal point. The sinus focus wall, which is a semicircular arches combination, which is also emulating that flow of the water on the brook. That's a concept. So first glimpse is itself this semicircular arches, and this is a night view, and this is how we constructed the semicircular wall. This is a process. And secondly, the brooks. So highlighted with the water channels leading towards the courtyard. This is a sectional view where you can see that there are two brooks, which water channels, which is leading towards that courtyard spaces, where the all water which is falling on the roof area is collected and directed towards this brook space, where it will collect through the building itself, and which will lead to the rainwater harvesting tank, which is beneath the building. This is a section which shows two brooks. The detail, where you can see there is a glass on that floor itself, so that we can visualize that feel of the water which is flowing inside the building itself. This is second water channel which can be collected. This is the process of the construction, and this is that courtyard space. This is a terminal and visual axis of a semi-open garden enclosed by a patterned brick walls with rhythmic voids complementing the flow of the water through the channels. So this was the construction and process. This is the final view, which is capturing inside the building. Then we go to the pot space, which is also locally sourced hand-cut cane reeds arranged in a geometric pattern within steel frame, a step towards upcycling. This is the final outcome. This is the drawings and details. This was the process. You can see that cutting, seasoning, everything is done, and final framework and the outcome. Then our door, entrance doorway, set in a protruding concrete enclosure, a traditional Padipura doorway imposing a scale and meaning. So details, and these are the interiors where the customized reinterpretation of the traditional architecture, and this is the article which is also in detail. You can see that this is a process, and again sliding window, and this is a chair inspired from a Charukka Sera. And our next project is a terracotta wall brick wheel. This is also a upcycling step. This is the final outcome. And the front brick facade, which is also a on-site formulated technique, play with the inverse placement of bricks. And the cotton steel window, removed and rejoined for any maintenance in future also. This is the interior views. And the courtyard cascade collects and recharges pits smoothly through the tile wall, where the water will wash through that wall, and you have a collection pit over there which directs towards that rainwater harvesting tank. And the staircase, where the handrail itself is coming from the reinforcement steel, and we reuse the wood which is collected from other sites. And the gutter which we designed, this was done downright by to save the facade beauty without giving any UPVC rainwater downtake pipes and all. This was the process, and this is the final outcome. And this is our space, a small space. Thank you.
Hi. So I think what excited me was the last bit, which you actually ran quite quickly. I thought that was, I wish you had reversed your order and spoke about that, because that would actually is what is the difference between maybe you and the others. I haven't seen the others, but I think when you talked about exploring, I think I could see the passion which was there, whether it was the doing the clay tiles or doing the. So I think keep doing that, and when you do that, and especially the gutter, excellent.
Thank you.
So things like that. I think if your whole presentation was more towards what those learnings, because we've seen houses, we've seen restaurants, we've seen. Those things, but those things which you were experimenting as a young designer, I think that was something which excited me. So yeah, keep exploring. Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent work. I really liked it.
Thank you.
What you're doing with the brakes. I mean, all of it, including your bench, which we had seen earlier. The swing, correct myself. I was looking at the detailing in which you had given in your presentations and all when we were doing the short listing. So great work, and yeah, all the best.
Thank you.
I don't know if the organizers can allow all of them some more time, because in everybody we are seeing like 2 projects and we're not really getting to the third one. In 7 minutes, it's a little unfair to introduce your practice and show 3 projects, right? I don't know if that's... I don't know, what do you all think? Yeah, isn't it? It's kind of unfair as well. So
Yeah.
maybe we should call the...
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 7 can become 10. Is that okay? Or 9?
But so what's happening is like, so they are toiling with their first project lot more time. Yeah. Because otherwise, like, see, yeah, that is why. Then I think we may have to call back the first, yeah.
Yeah, slides will be fine.
I mean, in the meantime, I too kind of enjoyed the work. I think you are definitely, interested in material kind of explorations, whether it's metal or brick or tile and stuff like that. I do think, to kind of push yourselves, instead of doing like a little bit, everywhere, if you can start using these explorations to kind of become a central kind of idea which begins to drive the project,
Yes.
it would really kind of make it far more integral and central both to each of the projects that you do. But I think you're at a stage where you can like definitely do this. But I think as you kind of mature and grow, it might be better to pull it all together.
Sure, sir.
So definitely commendable the experiments that you're trying out as a young practice.
Thank you.
Really think this can, as Pinkish rightly said, instead of bits
Sorry
and
to
pieces.
interrupt the jurors. So we will give him 2 more minutes to skip through the slides, so that your comments can be reserved after that.
I said.
Yeah. We will call back her after the presentation. Yeah. Please make sure that you got only 2 more minutes. We are
Thank
still
you.
we are already running very late.
Okay. So only running to the slides, right?
Yeah.
If at all you want to speak, you can speak also within that 2 minutes.
Okay,
Nothing
all
wrong
right.
in it. Yeah.
Thank you. So we were completing. So this is a workspace that we share now. This is a ferrocement slab storage over here, and there is a another focal point in our office space, which is in the ground floor itself, which is also done in a beautiful brickwork. Also, that's a round window where we our all interns, architects, everyone rest in the noon time and in the leisure time, and that is the main focus point and for the photo frames and all. And that is the main facade. And this is a crayon staircase that we have designed with the pigmented concrete finish. It's also done. This was a process. And this is a filler slab, as everyone knows. This is some upcycling materials which we have collected also. There's a gearbox there. Everything, mud cars, everything is there. Curry chutney is also there. Then this is the final outcome. And that's the interior spaces, and our mascot, which is we saw this type of windows as normal shutters, swing shutters, rolling shutters, everything. So we have a thought on Game of Thrones logo, and we formulated a GOT window, and which is a vertically pivoted, horizontally pivoted, and this was a design process that we have formulated, and this was a process of construction, and this is the final output, which is revolves in every direction, and also when wind flows inside and outside the office, it will revolve around. So it is a special feel when you look at it, when it drives its own. Thank you.
I think, very interesting work. Glad we saw the last bit also, because it really added tremendous value to what we saw earlier.
Yes.
Good work.
Yeah, I definitely am happy you got the extra 2 minutes. I think the comments that are coming across the line is, I think we're able to see a lot of exploration, and as a collective team, you're able to do it in terms of material, and you've taken it to a very high level, which some of us, even now, we've not managed, you know. But I think but that's what stands out for you. What we need to see more is actually in terms of design, you know. Is there a plan which, you know, as a conceptual level, does it hit me? Which I feel is where I see a bit of a gap, you know. I think you've taken material exploration to a very high level, but I think so at a concept, idea level, it needs to, Monsoon Collective needs to shine through, yeah?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, I second Iype in that approach. So what is happening is there is a fascination. Like, it's very interesting work, and I think you should thank Mr. Pinkish for getting you that 2 minutes extra.
Thank you so much, sir.
Because, yeah, because I was about to look at it in a different perspective, but the last slide just kind of changed my perspective towards where you are moving towards. What is interesting is the material exploration which is happening. Architecture does not start and stop there.
Yeah.
So you need to be looking at it in a more integral way.
Yes.
And even if you're looking at one slide where there is a steel rim, and then you have a brick which is put on the horizontal direction. So if you were to look at it more integrally,
yes, sir,
you would probably orient it in the other way direction. So slowly start looking at these things and start speaking, evolve a language from the land where you're coming from. So the moment you do that, maybe your roof system might be something else.
Yes.
Because Kerala in general, we all remember heavy rainfall. So I think these are the things you can now start looking at. So if you're talking about a larger overhang, if you're talking about a certain pitch, it is not necessary that you have to do a typical pitch roof.
Yes, sir. We have the story behind every project to say, but the minimal time won't allow that. That's why we are focusing on that materialistic things. And
so just speak to the land, speak
sure, sir,
where you're actually working, and evolve a language from there.
Yes, sir.
I think that would be the tip I would want to give you.
Sure, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
work. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.